Hello everyone, Vito's YouTube back again today, doing something a little bit different that I haven't done in a while. It's a top 10 video, actually top 6. We'll be looking at the top 6 Madison decks up until now, because there'll be a few more coming later this year. So let's start off with number 6. Number 6 on the list is Madison Dealers 2nd edition with the borders. Why? Because as much as I like a bordered deck, I think that this is a type of deck with this back design that is just better borderless. So while it's a good stock and finish and everything, it just seems one that it could be better without borders, like they had already done it, and two, that it was a little bit unnecessary. And then the black one, a limited one, has off-centered borders, and I'm guessing they're going to tell me that they did that on purpose, just like the Hustlers decks, which may or may not be on purpose themselves. Anyways, that is that one. Number 5 on the list is, as you might guess, Madison Dealers, the bordered ones, because I always prefer bordered decks as opposed to borderless decks, but in this case I think it's better than the border ones because it just, this type of back is just better without borders, and it looks good and handles good and I like it and whatnot. So that is number 6, and I'll try to keep this brief because sometimes my videos are too long. The next one on the list is White Rounders. I do like, the box is different, although it's a little bit too minimalist and everything, and I do like them, don't get me wrong on that. But I do think that the back design is just a little too minimalist, a little too plain. And it's number 4 on the list, it's not that bad, but it would be higher if it was probably not white. I like the box, I like the cards, there's better ones out there, that's all there is to it. And speaking of rounders, that brings me to number 3, more Madison Rounders. To be more exact, the black, blue, red, and brown, and more specifically the black. I really like that color. I think these look great. I like the kind of simple backs and everything, and again with the borders. That other one's kind of borderless. All the faces are very similar. The reason why I had these separate is because the white round is obviously slightly different in the backs because they're more or less borderless, different jokers, and a different box. So I decided to do them separately as opposed to together. Rounders, number 3. That brings me to number 2 on the list, which is Hustlers. The reason why these ones are so high on the list is the colors really stand out, they really pop. And I like that. All the other decks have been reds and blues and blacks and greens. Bam! A lot of people have been wanting orange and purple decks from Madison. There you go. You got them. And then the back design is pretty bold and interesting, I would say. Again, I don't know if they made those borders like that on purpose or if it's accidental and they're trying to pass it off as on purpose. Because you never know with USPC. And that's that. It's a pretty cool deck. Despite the borders, I do like the back design. And this deck definitely, the colors, the back design really stands out. And that's why it's number 2 on the list. Number 1 on the list, I think it's probably number 1 on a lot of people's lists for Madison decks, is, well, if you're an Illusionist fan, you might not be familiar with it, because it was his first release, which was on Theory 11. the Madison Players. Check that out. It's pretty nice box. There's some silver foil on there. Cards themselves. Handle really nice. It's kind of like the white rounders, except a combination of white rounders and Madison dealers almost. And I think in this case, original is best. It looks good, handles good. Some of the court cards are kind of standard, some are Madison faces, obviously. Jokers are pretty cool, and everything is nice. A lot of people really like this deck. I like it. It's harder to find and worth more as well. And I think, to me, you know, it's the original. It's the inspiration for all of those other decks because they all have the same logo. And I think it's the best. That is my top 6 Madison decks. I'm not going to break it down by colors or anything like that. That'd just be ridiculous to try and determine if I like a black rounder or a blue rounder better, or a red rounder or whatever. That just would be dumb. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time.